Hey team, this is Pastor Ron coming at you with some serious truths. I'm going to post this to my Rumble. You could find me on Rumble at His Truth Seeker or BitChute at His Truth Seeker 777. You can also find me on YouTube under His Truth Seeker. So today's title to this message is Infection and Inflammation. If this is one of the first times you've heard me, I would recommend that you go back and find my several videos that I posted on the fight of my life. Right now, I may look like a fairly sized man. I'm about 225 pounds right now, about 6'2.5", maybe 6'3". And but when I went into the hospital back in November, I was 240 pounds, maybe 242, but I'll say 240 for sure, in shape. I just cut down from 260. And when I come out of that hospital, I was 198 pounds soaking wet. I didn't even have enough muscle in my body to be able to stand up to use the bathroom. It was absolutely embarrassing. I still am in a state of shock for what happened to me while I was in the hospital, but that is a whole nother story. You need to go back and look at my videos, The Fight of My Life, on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. Today I'm going to talk about, the title is Infection and Inflammation, and I like to start it out this way. I'm going to give you probably about 11 or 12 points on how to prevent or fight the infection. There are two stages in this battle with any of these viruses. Okay, not just one of them, because I'm not caught up in the political game of this. I want to tell you the truth that'll set you free. So I want to give you, let's say, 11 or 12 points on what you need to do to fight the infection. Because listen, once you get the infection, there is about a 10 to a 13-day period where you're fighting it like I did. But I didn't have all these tools at my disposal. And the ones I didn't use correctly. I underestimated my opponent, which you should never do that. Never underestimate the adversary. That's one of the first things that God told me when I was in Florida. January and February of 2020, God gave me such an insight to be able to be ahead of the curve. And I listened to the wrong people, and I did not do what I was supposed to do on my own accord. But anyway, I'm here to help you. I want to be a voice to all those people, out of those million of people that have died, who have not made it. I believe that there are those that die from the vaccination. There are those that die from the virus. And there are those who die simply from neglect or the protocol in the hospital. Those are the stages that I believe that we're looking at, that you need to prepare yourself and your family for. You will need your family to fight through this. So a person with an experience is never at the mercy of a person who has an argument. Do you got that? A person with an experience is never at the mercy of a person who has an argument. So I have experienced what I've been through, therefore I know what happens in the hospitals, and I am alive to declare it. Okay, I know what happened to me in that hospital, and I survived it. 6 days, I lost 42 pounds. No water, no saline solution in my IV, no antibiotics, no vitamins, hardly any care whatsoever beside giving me ibutanol, the inhaler, and oxygen. I was on 75 liters oxygen when I first went in. Would have blown a normal person's head off to be in there to take the oxygen that I took at the beginning. But what I'm saying is I experienced it, and it's given me the ability to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us God. I just want to say here, I went through these stages and I almost died. Only by the grace of God am I healed and alive to share these truths. I lost 42 pounds in 6 days. I'm telling you the truth. God healed me, and I left the hospital weighing 198 pounds. A week previous, I entered at a solid 240 pounds. My experience has motivated me to help others. I studied this plague for 2 years, and I still almost died from it. That's how serious this thing is. I want to give you the proper direction through what God has given me. You must first make the right decisions. The initial infection and the replication stage is when it is trying to replicate in your body. There is an initial stage of infection, and that is when that virus is trying to reproduce, replicate within your body, and your T cells are fighting it. You have what I call a grace period there, 0 days till about 13 days. Mine hit me at about day 14, and that's about the day that they say that it will, and that's what it did. The cells from the virus are fighting with your white blood cells or your T cells. You will feel extremely tired and fatigued from this battle within your body. Your white blood cells fight it, and they can. Your white blood cells can fight against this. But they need all the help that you can give them. You need to be helping your body, not hurting your body. Sugar is the number one thing that you could be eating to destroy your defense mechanism within your body. You must purge yourself from all sugars. Period. You must do everything you can to stop it here and now in the beginning. Preventive maintenance could possibly save your life. If it reaches the inflammation stage and gets into one or both of your lungs, you are in serious life-threatening trouble. It's a life-threatening stage. I cannot lie to you. I cannot sugarcoat it. You get into that hospital, you'll be fighting the virus and also the protocol. You'll be fighting remdesivir. You'll be fighting the doctors, the nurses. You'll be fighting the ventilator, and you'll be fighting the vaccine. You will have at least 5 things that you're not even thinking of right now that when you enter into that hospital, they will try to force those things on you. On top of that, you may not get any saline solution, water through your IV. You might not get any antibiotics or anything that will assist your body in defeating the virus. As I've stated, 42 pounds burned off my body in 6 days fighting this virus, and I survived it through God's healing and God's mercy that He healed me, that I could basically crawl out of that place and that I could get home for some proper nourishment. I didn't even take ivectormin. I just went totally natural the whole way. God healed me, and I come back naturally by the grace of God. I'm telling you, that's just how I did it. But I'm going to give you tools to fight it if you get into that position. This is like this period, this from the infection to the final stage of inflammation. It's like going from the common cold to double pneumonia. And that's just what it's like. That's the best way I can describe it unto you. This is like when the common cold transfers into double pneumonia, and that is exactly what happens. Remember the importance of the pulse ox and the spirometer. Please, we've showed them to you over and over and over. You got to go back on my previous videos and look at those. You must have those. The pulse ox is where you put it on your finger and it tells you your heart rate and your oxygen levels. You must know that. At bare minimum, that could save your life. Please watch my videos on YouTube, Rumble, and Gab.com under His True Seeker. If you do go to BitChute, you could find me under His True Seeker 777. Get this out to your friends and family members. On the offensive attack, when you go on the offensive attack regarding what you should take from what I have experienced and researched, I am going to give you 12 offensive weapons that you can use to build your immune system and fight the virus. This is one stage that I'm talking about, one out of the many that you need to equip yourself so you know how to fight these different stages of this virus. These must be used in the first 13 days. They must be used in the first 13 days. If you go over that, the chances are the virus will get into your lungs. And that's what happened to me. I was diagnosed with COVID double pneumonia. I don't care if you believe in COVID or not. Let's just call it double pneumonia. But whatever it was, I almost died from the thing. They left me laying there on my deathbed thinking I was going to die, and I didn't die. I'm telling you, God healed me, and I come out of that bed with zero water through my IV, no vitamins, nothing giving me through my IVs, no antibiotics, and that is the truth. Very, very little food, no toothpaste, no washcloth, no towel to dry myself off with, no robe to put on my body. I'm telling you, it was pure hell on earth. Nobody should have to go through that. No wonder why the old people were dying. And then you give them shots of remdesivir, and it makes it appear like their liver and kidneys are shutting down. And then they put them on a ventilator when they're that weak, and they let them lay there to die. You need to know what your friends and family are going through, your family members. When you hit day 14, you enter into the inflammation stage. This is where I lost the battle, but thank God I still won the war. I simply could not breathe. My oxygen was at 80 or less, 78 once they had it, 80 was the other, and I could not think or even react properly. It is obvious to me now that this is when I went from the common cold stage, of what I call that at the very beginning, to the double pneumonia stage. This is why I say you must defeat this thing before day 14. You have 2 weeks to apply these principles to defeat this thing while you have the opportunity to do it. So, number 1 is make sure you have ivermectin on stock. Dr. Stella Emanuel, you could get her on the Stu Peters show. You could go to her website, Stella Emanuel. You could Google her, Stella Emanuel. That is number 1. You must have ivermectin on hand. Find a holistic doctor in your area. Find an independent doctor in your area and let them prescribe it to you. Number 2 is the Z-Pack. You must get the Z-Pack or the ingredients in the Z-Pack. I'll talk about them several times here. This is stage number 2. Number 3, these are the ingredients in the Z-Pack. If you do not get the Z-Pack that has them all in. 1, this is number 3. You need to get Cortisone. Point number 4 is you must be loaded up on zinc. Number 5 is D3. Number 6, you must be loaded up on vitamin C. Okay, that's the first 6 steps. Very, very important steps. Just them alone in their self could have saved my life. I did not have the ivectormin. If I would have had that, as bad as I was, I would have taken it. I just didn't have it. Because I didn't think I was going to get the virus. That's why. If you're asking why did he know all this, but he didn't do it? For 24 months, 22 months specifically, my church went with no masks, hardly no social distancing, maybe way back at the beginning. I had traveled all over the place, done meetings all over the place, had my church services, did everything the way we wanted to do it, and hardly nobody in our church was sick. I just did not think I was going to get it. And on about November 14th, we had a pretty large meeting at our church, November 14th or 15th, and I knew something had happened. But I still thought I could beat it. It didn't seem like it was anything that bad to me. But I'm telling you, it crept in and sucked the oxygen out of my body, and that's what happened. If I'd have a pulse ox, I'd have known how bad I was, and if I'd had ivermectin, I'd have taken it and defeated this thing. But no, I was sent to a hospital that I suffered such neglect, it would be beyond your wildest imaginations that I come out of there alive. So, number 7, you must drink a lot of fluids. Do not dehydrate. You must stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. Load up. You will not feel like drinking it, but you must load up. I'm talking load up on water. Make sure you get yourself some Silver Sol. SILVERSOL. Silver Sol. Number 9, one of the things that I think helped me as much as anything else is I take omega-3 black from Freezor that comes out of New Zealand. You could get in touch with them and tell them Pastor Ron sent you. They will take care of you. Pastor Ron. Just look up Freezor. FREZZOR. And you could get the number there and just tell them Pastor Ron told you to call. Ask for John, JOHN, and you need the Omega Black. They'll take care of you. Number 10 is turmeric. Turmeric can help you as far as pain relief and also to keep your blood clean and keep your blood from clotting. A lot of people had problems with blood clotting. Number 11 is these last 2. I saved the best 2 for last. You need that spirometer. You need a spirometer. It's that funny looking machine they give you where you suck through that hose and it pulls them balls up to the top to strengthen your lungs and to expand your lungs. The final thing is the pulse ox. You must have that to put it on your hand so you have the confidence and assurance of where your oxygen is. So my two most important weapons from start to finish are the pulse ox and the spirometer. Please have them and use them daily. Amen. So this is just the first stage. This is the stage of infection and what you need to defeat it. I am telling you, for your own well-being, your own good, please load up on those things. Send this video to your friends and family members. We do a live stream on YouTube every Wednesday at 7 and Saturday at 7. Remember, it is under His Truth Seeker, and that is on YouTube. I download whatever I can to Rumble and my BitChute channel. My Rumble is His Truth Seeker also. My BitChute is His Truth Seeker 777. If you want to see our international evangelistic outreach, you can go to crossingpaths.org. Crossingpaths.org. Well, listen, this is Pastor Ron signing off. As I always say, peace, love, and joy to every single one of you. You continue to run the race with endurance. Fix your eyes on Jesus, the author, the perfecter, and the finisher of your faith, who for the joy set before Him, He endured the cross. Love you guys. I hope this helps. I'll see you next time.